Hey guys, welcome to fitnessforbackpain.com's YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the most infamous topic of core bracing, not core training, but core bracing, and why the way you're bracing could be causing more pain and how to adjust it to fit your specific needs in the gym or out of it. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on. If you want to read some stuff, watch some videos, you can go to the website. But stay tuned, we have a lot of things coming out here on YouTube, so check it out. This topic specifically, we are breaking down and applying it in a very personal way in the private membership. If that's something that you are interested in, you can check out that over at fitnessforbackpain.com, F for BP, membership access. Let's jump in. So let's look at the core bracing. A big issue that we are taught or told is that you should always be contracting your core. Before you bend over, tighten your stomach up. And before you get punched, of course, you tighten your core. But what happens when you're tightening too much? Or what happens when you are contracting your core, you're bracing like you should be doing before a squat or a lunge or a push-up, but that bracing causes pain. How do you adjust it? Do you stop bracing? Or just say, screw it, I'm just gonna go get surgery? Like, what do you do? And I wanna talk about this topic because it's the perfect example of why beating lower back pain, creating a desensitizing environment around your spine is so important and so much a DIY approach. So when it comes to core bracing, what you really wanna focus on is applying it to your specific need. And what we're comparing it to is your pain threshold. I always talk about with my students is know and understand and marry your pain threshold, because what you're going to be doing is always be touching that pain threshold to get through to the more progressive movements. Now, in some situations, you may be pushing through some pain thresholds, to get past a major surgery. But 95% of the people need to understand where their pain threshold is and constantly be touching but not disrespecting that threshold. So how you can disrespect the threshold is, in some cases, how aggressively you're contracting your core. So let's say I'm going to go into a hip hinge to grab a baseball or a basketball or a small child off the ground. We think, okay, hips in a good position, brace and bend. Well, when that causes pain, there's some ways that you can adjust. For example, if the stiffness that I'm creating, the aggressiveness behind my contraction could be causing pain. So what I can do is, instead of thinking, okay, we'll compress the spine by contracting really hard, then move, let's decompress. Let's not contract so much. Let's actually just focus on our pelvic position. So I rock my pelvis forward and back, get it in a neutral position, then I go into that hip hinge. How does that feel? Can I do that hip hinge without pain? If not, then let's work on some tighter contractions. And you can adjust how hard you're contracting and practice these movements and finding to see, okay, if I contract too hard, it hurts. If I take back some of my contraction and go a little bit lighter, the pain kind of goes away. So if you can't adjust it specifically to the point where you have zero pain, let's look at something else. Let's look at our lat engagement. Let's look at our upper back and middle back engagement. So a lot of times when we're doing things like pressing or squatting or any kind of lifting, we have to not so much focus on how we're contracting our trunk per se, but how we're engaging the entire posterior chain. And in this case, the lats, upper and mid back are key players. So what I'll do with a student is, instead of having them focus on contracting their core, I'm gonna have them pull back and down their lat. So relax your trunk, engage your lats, your upper back and your mid back. Keep yourself in a neutral position as far as your pelvis goes, and then do your hinge. How does that feel? When you're focusing more on the lat engagement, the upper and mid back engagement, does that allow the spine to be decompressed enough to move and not be so smashed and contracted and causing pain? So that's what you have to look at. It's on a case-by-case basis, but you have to understand that it's not always about bracing. A big misconception when it comes to stiffness around the spine is that we have to voluntarily contract and squeeze and be in that position all the time. When we're walking the dog, when we're raking the leaves, going grocery shopping, taking a shower. No, you don't always have to be super contracted and stiff all the time. That actually can cause more pain for you. So instead, allow your body to address and adapt to the way you move. Don't always think contract, 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 stay stiff. If I stay stiff, then my body will be safe. Not necessarily. So if you're having pain when bending over or doing an exercise, don't think you have to brace harder. Or if you're having pain while vacuuming the house or cleaning the house up, don't think contracting harder is going to take that pain away, or that you need to remain stiff all the time when it comes to your trunk. It's the exact opposite. You want to tailor and adjust your stiffness for the occasion. If I'm lifting up a 50-pound bag of sand, that's a different kind of brace than picking up a t-shirt off the ground. As you get better and better at this, your body's going to naturally engage and disengage and incorporate the muscles needed once these new patterns are grooved. Well, try that. Don't just contract your core, but contract your lats and get the entire upper, mid, and lower back engaged with the movement. And you'd be surprised on how better you may feel without necessarily focusing so much on your core. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, we went over how, when, and why not to always think you have to be contracting the core with movement. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, if you want to find out more detail about these things and how to apply them specifically into your life, you can check out what we have going on over at the F4BP private membership. Check out the site, fitnessforbackpain.com. See you later.